Good morning, everybody. To start, I would like to show you a funny video about Christmas.
Let me ask you, why is everybody using these tiny little lights nowadays? I remember when people used to use big lights.
That's a good story, Grandpa.
Hey. Wow. Monica's letting other people help decorate her tree. Did someone get her drunk again, or?
Having a perfectly decorated tree is not what Christmas is about. It's about being with the people that you love.
That is nice, and we're done. Ta-da!
I don't know what it is. It just doesn't quite feel like Christmas to me.
Oh, yes.
See, now it feels like Christmas.
So, as we know, at this time of the year, we can feel the Christmas spirit in everywhere. So,
a very special
oh, sorry.
song that I wrote for some very important people to me.
I'm sorry. So, continuing. We can feel the Christmas spirit in everywhere at this time of the year. So, and I believe that this kind of feelings start when we put up and we decorate our Christmas tree. So, today I'd like to show you some curiosities about Christmas trees. Actually, before I chose this topic, I didn't know how much it's interesting. And I choose these three main points: the Christmas tree history, the popular evergreen trees, and the Christmas trees decoration. At first, I believe it's important to know about the history. And I would like to show you a video. It's an interview with the specialist Ace Collins. He's a specialist in Christmas traditions. And I highlighted some important points of the interview and the history also about the pagan origins and how it became a Christian tradition. The Martin Luther's story. If you don't know, Martin Luther was a famous priest in the Protestant Reformation. And he was also the first person who brought into a house the Christmas trees in the way that we know now. So it's very interesting. And also it's important, the Holy Trinity. The Holy Trinity is shaped in a triangle form. This is the Holy Trinity symbol, as the Christmas trees are. And finally, the artificial Christmas trees. How people started producing and selling the artificial Christmas tree. I apologize about my presentation. I had to go to the YouTube again.
So in a lot of families, including my own, Christmas really starts when you come out to a lot like this one and you buy a fresh cut tree. At what point in history did someone say, that nice 10-foot tree out in the woods, let's bring that and put it in the living room?
Long before they were Christians, Vikings looked at these trees and they said they were beautiful and they represented something that was alive in the midst of winter. So they brought them in for superstitious reasons. Then when the missionaries got to the Vikings and transformed these people into Christians, they transformed the symbol of the tree as well into something that provided them with the symbol of everlasting life, faith that would never die.
Now I understand the first Christmas trees were decorated with things like fruit and nuts and berries, that sort of thing.
Whatever the locale had, a lot of homemade ornaments by children. Then Martin Luther was walking through the woods one night, looked up through the pine trees and saw the light coming through the woods. he thought this must have been what it was like on the very first Christmas. He went back home and tried to give that experience to his children by tying a candle under the tree and having them look at the candlelight coming through. And when they did, he explained to them that that light that came to the world, that dark world 2,000 years ago, represented Christ.
Are there other Christian symbols associated with the Christmas tree?
Long before it was a Christmas tree was a track. Missionaries used it, like Boniface, one of the legendary missionaries in Europe, used it to represent the Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, because the Christmas tree or the pine tree is shaped like a triangle. The perfect triangle, as he called it. And the first Christmas trees, by the way, if you think you've got a lot of trouble setting this tree up on the floor, for 250 years, Christmas trees were hung upside down from the ceiling until Martin Luther and others put them on the floor. Yes.
Now also, we're in a lot with fresh cut trees. A lot of people have artificial trees. I always figured artificial trees came about in the 1940s, 50s or so, but they're actually a lot older than that, aren't they?
Well, after the Civil War, Americans started cutting down trees and putting them in houses, and people in cities became really convinced that all of the pine trees in the United States were going to be cut down. So they started making artificial trees to sell. By 1880, you could buy a feather tree that was purple or pink or red.
And obviously, we haven't run out of Christmas trees living with.
Christmas tree farms now represent not only an industry, but also represents, I think, the best of the holiday season, if we remember the Christian roots of the tree itself.
Now that we know about the history, it's also important to know about the evergreen trees. This picture shows the winter, and we can see here that the evergreen tree remains green, while the other regular trees already lost their leaves. So, imagine in the past, people believed that the evergreen trees had some special powers. And I got here some popular evergreen types. The fir trees, the pine trees, the spruce trees, the cypress trees, and the cedar trees. They are similar, but they are not the same. I think the most popular is the pine trees. At least in Brazil, they are. Now that we talked a little of the evergreen trees and about the history, we are able to decorate our Christmas trees. Decorating the Christmas trees, it's always a happy moment in our lives. It's a moment to share with our family, our friends, people who we love. So we can see in this picture, they are having fun, they are having good moments. So I brought this artificial, I think it's a pine tree, and I would like to decorate this tree with your help. So we can start using angels. The angels are messengers of God, so they represent the announcement of Jesus' birth. So let's put the angels in our tree. Some angels. It's just the beginning. So next, it's important, I think, maybe one of the most famous ornaments are the colorful balls. They represent the fruit, the fertility, and the renovation. In the past, people used to decorate their trees with fruits, nuts, as Ace Collins said to us. So let's put the colorful balls in our tree. it's also important the bells. The bells announcing the great events, so we can say thanks for the great events that we had, and also we can ask for new great events in our lives. So it's important to have the bells in our tree. Next, we can't have a tree without lights. As the Martin Luther story said, the candles and the lights symbolize Jesus Christ, the light of the world. So let's put both in our tree. It's becoming better. Next are the candy canes. The candy canes symbolize the God shepherd because of the shape. So it means that God is taking care of us. Let's put the candy canes. And I think it's really important to have the gifts in our tree, because without gifts, the children won't be happy. So let's put some gifts. Much better now. But last, and the most important, I believe, the star, because it symbolized the Jesus birth, and Christmas is about Jesus birth. So now we have our tree decorated. We also can decorate our tree with whatever we want. Some people put photos and something like that. So today I talked about some curiosities of Christmas trees, and I talked about Christmas trees history, some popular evergreen trees, and the Christmas trees decoration. And to finish, I would like to show another video with some famous and beautiful trees around the world. which one do you like the most? I hope you enjoyed. If you have a question, please ask me. And thank you and happy holidays.